Hello and welcome back to the final top 4 match of this regional. I'm joined here with Robin Leendert Akershoek, who has been so nice to me to actually make sure that he's casting another game. So Lou and I are going to do finals here. So we have one player who's been very, very famous before, Yuri. We've seen him twice before in stream, won both games, and he did very, very well.
Yeah.
We also saw Aleksandra before, and she did really, really well against Willem.
Yeah, somehow won that amazing game. That was so intense after that all. So yeah, and then she's now into finals against into top four against Yuri. That's actually insane. And Yuri is such a big player to face as well. So she's definitely going to be up for a big challenge here. But I think she can definitely do it. We've seen her play pretty well, and she has a good game plan. And yeah, we've seen Yuri's team a lot already on stream.
Yes.
It's that famous Groudon Xerneas combination with that Venusaur as well. But as we saw with Matthias, it's either hit or miss, quite literally, with Sleep Powder. So I think we're in for a lot of excitement in this match.
I think as well. Should we start get started?
Yeah, I think the players are about to get ready now. So we should get into the match anytime soon now, and then we can go into the teams. Yeah, I don't know too much about Aleksandra still, but she just keeps on winning here. Going into top 4, you already secure yourself so much prize money. And a lot of CP as well, so that's definitely good. We still don't know what the bar is for World Championships yet, but if you top 4 regional, you're already quite close usually. So that's definitely a good takeaway.
Yeah, we are going to see that they're going to start here. So, Aleksandra here, do you think she has a good game plan here? Because, I mean, I think she really needs it against a player like Yuri. We can really adapt pretty much throughout the game.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what kind of mode she goes for here. Because her team does kind of have some... I think she has kind of 2 different modes that she tries to run. She either can go with the Trick Room mode, or she can go with the sort of Xerneas offensive mode. But first, Romy, let's take us through these teams.
Yeah, we are on Aleksandra's side. We are going to see that Smeargle, Groudon, Ludicolo, Stakataka, Incineroar, and Xerneas. And on Yuri's side, we are going to see as well the Xerneas, Groudon, Kartana, Incineroar, Venusaur, and the Heatran.
Yeah, and I think we've seen almost all the decks from Yuri's team yet. They've been quite similar to most of these teams that we had on stream. From Aleksandra, we've seen a few of their Pokemon. We haven't seen anything from the Ludicolo yet. We've seen that this is one of these lovely Kiss Smurgles, which could definitely play a big role here against Yuri. And against Aleksandra's team, I wouldn't be surprised if Yuri maybe tries to go with that Venusaur Groudon combination here. This Takataka, for example, could be potentially one of these safety goggles variants. So that could be our answer to try and stop that Sleep Powder mode that Yuri has going on. But if I look at these teams, I especially really like how Heatran is looking here. Yes, you have to worry about Groudon, but all the other Pokemon, Heatran does really well against them.
Yeah, so I think, Yuri just needs to get rid of that Groudon then.
Yeah, I think if that's his main priority, that's probably a good game plan for him. And his own Groudon is also looking pretty good, because we've seen that with Willem versus Aleksandra as well, that her team, if she goes for a Trick Room mode, is actually a little bit Groudon weak. She definitely has her methods to stop it. She has White Guard on Smeargle, she has a good Trick Room mode. But Groudon does offer a lot of pressure with that Precipice Blades, so we're going to see what Yuri is going to lead against that. And if Aleksandra actually goes with the Trick Room mode, or maybe goes with her own Xerneas setup mode, which is also definitely a possibility here.
Yeah, we've seen Xerneas and Incineroar lead a lot, and we are going to see Yuri's lead here. We are going to see the Heatran and the Groudon combination here, and we are going to see the Incineroar Xerneas. Yeah. We've seen it so many times before on stream, and it's really, really strong.
It definitely is, but this combination doesn't really want to face down this Heatran at all. We've seen that it's the Roar variant, so Xerneas doesn't really have the greatest time setting up at all. And this Incineroar doesn't want to take Life or Precipice Blades. We've seen that Yuri, one of the changes that he has compared to Matthias, for example, is that Yuri doesn't run Choice Band, but he runs Life Orb instead. So Aleksandra does have a chance to lift potentially the Precipice Blades, but you never want to take these just because it's still going to do a lot of damage. So I think Yuri definitely has the lead advantage here, and Aleksandra kind of has to find a way to do damage, especially to that Heatran.
Yeah, we actually kind of saw the same thing with Yuri versus Alex, where Yuri was really able to stop this Incineroar, her Xerneas lead.
Yeah, exactly. And we went with the same lead again. So Aleksandra doesn't go for the same things that Alex went for that turn. She decides, okay, I'm not going to set up. And that is a big critical hit there. really unfortunate because we know that it's a life orb Groudon, so that's actually going to knock himself out right away.
Yeah, but is it now going to take out this Incineroar, or is it going to live?
No,
it
it's
is going to live on this 5 HP, yeah, and this Groudon is going to kill itself with a life orb recoil. Wow, the critical hit was really, really important here for Aleksandra, but just getting rid of this Groudon and actually healing up with the berry to just over 50%. It was an amazing turn for Aleksandra here.
Yeah, that's really good if you're Aleksandra. Really unfortunate if you're like, oh, first it was like, oh, thank God, this Groudon lives that attack. But then you still have the life orb recall as well, obviously, so that's really unfortunate there. But Yuri does bring in both of his steel types, which do offer a good matchup against the two that Aleksandra has on the field right now.
Yeah, of course the Cortana does have to worry about something like Flare Blitz coming out from an Incineroar.
Yeah, but it should be in Sacred Sword range from here. And if I look at Aleksandra's team, there's not a lot that can really switch into that. You can't switch in a Smeargle to that, you can't switch in a Stakataka to that. Even a Groudon is going to do decent damage and make sure that it's put into Leaf Blade range. So Aleksandra really has to make sure that she doesn't lack Cortana answers in the end, because she couldn't set up the Xerneas' Geomancy, which is one of the ways you can actually outspeed Cortana and do a lot of damage. But she didn't have the chance to do that yet, so she really has to make a good game plan on how to beat this Cortana in the long term. And that's why she's probably taking all her time now, because she needs to find a good switching.
Yeah, we are actually going to see Xerneas just going for a protect.
Yeah, so she's just going to sack the Incineroar.
Yeah, we do actually see Cortana going for a Sacred Sword into this Incineroar, and it's going to be enough to pick up the KO on this Incineroar here. So Aleksandra is actually losing like this Mon. It gives you a lot of potential with the Fake Out and the Intimidates, but it is just gone now.
Yeah, but at least he gets a free switch into something else that she wants. But I'm not sure what you really want to bring in at this point. You can't really bring a Stakataka because you already boosted the Cortana, and the Sacred Sword should definitely pick up the KO. Groudon is definitely in Leaf Blade range after one boost. She has no Intimidate left in the bag, like you said, and I think she needs to have a Smurry on the back and maybe go for a Fake Out Geomancy play, because this way I think you can just go for a Roar and a Leaf Blade into Groudon, and it's a pretty safe play if you're Yuri.
Yeah, I think actually maybe that's Groudon dying turn 1, and he is actually getting this free switching to the Cortana.
It's actually not that bad at all.
It's actually paid off really well for him.
Yeah,
because
we were saying like how bad that was.
Yeah, and it's actually turning out to be quite good. So sometimes you get this critical hitch that you might not have wanted to.
Yeah, that's a really interesting point that you pointed out there. So that's actually kind of working Yuri's advantage there, and I'm not sure what Aleksandra has now at the moment to really stop it. You see that she's just taking her time, but I think like this Cortana just has the opportunity to pick up whatever it wants at this point, and Xerneas without a Geomancy is just not scary at all.
No, we are going to see it go for a Smart Strike into this Xerneas, just being too scared of something like Geomancy maybe?
Yeah, but you would think with kind of the Roar option as well, that you could pretty safely just go for a Leaf Blade, I would say, into the Groudon, but...
Yeah, because, okay, we are actually going to see Heatran fire off a Heat Wave, but...
That does a lot of damage.
But Groudon can fire back with these big Precipice Blades here, and it's, of course, going to be more than enough to pick up the KO on this Heatran here. But now, next turn, of course, the Cortana can still go for Leaf Blade into this Groudon.
Yeah, basically any kind of attack, but... I'm not sure what Aleksandra is. Oh, it's a stuck attack on the back. Yeah, that's not what you want to see at all.
That's definitely not what you want to have as Aleksandra now, because actually Cortana is just wrecking through her whole team.
Yeah, it's just that the one Precipice Blaze that got off onto the Incineroar just put it in range for Sacred Sword, and I think Aleksandra kind of needed to switch that out. She kind of needed that Intimidate switch in at any point later, but she decided to just sack the Incineroar, and I don't really agree with that, because now the Cortana is just going to go Rampage here. Groudon should also be in Grass Knot range here, so a Grass Knot Sacred Sword combination should just pick up the double KO for Yuri, and with 2 turns remaining, she might even, if she wants to stall it out, she even needs a double protect, so the odds are definitely in Yuri's favor here.
Yeah, so we do see the Groudon go for protect, just not wanting to take any moves here, and we do actually see the Venusaur going for a Grass Knot into the protect with the Groudon, and we see actually Cortana just going for a big Sacred Sword here. Yeah,
can it take it? No.
Definitely not, and this Cortana is now a +2.
Yeah, it's just running through the team, and if Venusaur is going to be a nice buddy to Cortana, it's going to let it get to +3 as well. I'm not sure if Yuri is going to let that happen, but either way, these two Grass-type Pokemon should have the game locked up against this really slow Trick from Groudon, as we've seen on Aleksandra's side. And yeah, Grass-knot's going to pick it up here.
Yeah. So what do you think Aleksandra has to change up in game 2? Because this Cortana was just too much for her to handle.
Yeah, So maybe what I would like to see her is just go for the Trick Room mode. This time she brought Stakataka on the back. We've seen her the last time on stream. We've seen her just always lead Stakataka right away, getting with supporting with something like a fake out, so you can make sure that you get up that Trick Room. She didn't do that this game. She kept it in the back, and it had no opportunity to ever go for that Trick Room mode. And I think that's really what she needs, because all Yuri's Pokemon are actually faster than Aleksandra's, it seems. Even that Heatran was faster than the Groudon. So she definitely needs that kind of speed advantage in order to do at least something to Yuri, at least threaten damage a little bit.
If Yuri goes for the same lead again, like Groudon, Heatran.
Yeah, but it's pretty safe, because then you can both you can Press Blades and you can Earth Power, of course. So
yeah, but you also have to. You can't immediately get up Trick Room. You need to make sure the Heatran dies first, because otherwise it can just very easily roar you out.
Yeah, it can roar as well. That's a very good point as well. Yeah, so it's actually really tough for her to set up this Trick Room. Because you can't just, if you want a wide guard, you can block the Press Blades, but then you don't block the Roar, like you said. So Aleksandra needs to find some way to do this, and with the Heatran, it also completely shuts down the Xerneas mode that she has. So maybe what she needs to do is maybe hope that she can go with her Groudon mode. But I'm not sure if her Groudon is able to live a Press Blades combined with the Heat Wave from that Heatran. So that's going to be tough. So maybe something like Groudon Smurgle could support her a little bit. Make sure that she at least threatens this Heatran to go away, and maybe then she has a chance to try and set up the Geomancy, or maybe try to set up the Trick Room.
Yeah, maybe just also trying to get some Moody boost to your advantage.
Yeah, you can always try that. If you're really desperate, I'm not sure if you really want to try that in Game 2 already, especially right from the get-go. But yeah, if you're in the middle of a game, that's definitely one of your outs for sure. But yeah, and we've seen Aleksandra, she had quite some luck on stream before, so maybe this luck can slowly come back again, and she can do some more stuff. But I think she also definitely has the skills to pull it out.
Yeah,
but she just needs to find a really good game plan in order to get up this Trick Room, which is not going to be easy.
Yeah, I feel like every time we've seen Yuri play on stream, he just rampaged through teams, and people just couldn't really do anything. Yeah. And we are going to see Yuri's lead, which is actually going to be that Venusaur and Groudon lead, and we're actually going to see that Smeargle Groudon lead coming out from Aleksandra there. Yeah, making a really good call there.
Yeah, so that's really funny that she actually went like I suggested. And we see Yuri change it up as well. Like we've seen so many times. Yuri is not just some player that's just going to stick with it. Like, okay, I won game 1 with this. I'm just going to stick with this. It's safe. Yuri likes to make these calls that my opponent is probably going to change it up. So I need to counteract her ideas usually.
Yeah, but he has this game 1 advantage. And I feel like definitely. A lot of times you can take a little bit more risk, because you can lose one more game. Yeah,
and I think Yuri now is pretty safe to just go for double protects, because afterwards you can, yes, the Smurgle can redirect some attacks, but it will get sleep powdered or it will get Press Bladed. So yes, the Smurgle is offering some support here, but it's not quite the support that Aleksandra hoped, because she wanted to do some damage to Heatran probably.
Yeah, we are going to see the Venusaur going for a protect. Do we also see the... No, Groudon decides not to protect, but the Fake Out is actually going into the protect of the Venusaur, and we do see... Did we see a double avoid here? Yeah, Precipice Blades is a move that can be really good and be really bad at the same time. So we are going to see the Precipice Blades go into the Groudon, doing just a little bit over 40%, but Yuri missing both Precipice Blades here. I think Aleksandra's luck is just coming back here.
Yeah, how does she train her Pokemon to be so nimble? Just keep on avoiding these Precipice Blades there. I think good call by Yuri there. Called a Fake Out into the Venusaur. Just went for straight up the attack with the Groudon, but it didn't pay out, unfortunately. It was kind of a risk that he took there. Unfortunate, but I don't think he's still in the worst of positions. He can still go for a Sleep Powder and another Precipice Blades into this turn. We saw the evasiveness drop on Smurgle, so Sleep Powder is actually guaranteed to hit onto that slot. So that's actually pretty safe for Yuri to just go for a Sleep Powder into that slot. I don't think there's much Aleksandra can do. She doesn't really have switch-ins to that. Especially if you combine that with the Precipice Blade Splasher that the Groudon puts out.
Yeah, the only thing... Did we actually see the item on the Stakataka? Is that maybe in the back?
I think in the game versus Willem we saw that it was safety goggles.
Okay, yeah, so that could potentially be a switch in, and we are going to see the Follow Me come out from that Smeargle, and is of course going to hit the Sleep Powder now.
Yeah.
The Smeargle is going to take a little nap here.
Yeah, definitely. But even though Stakataka would have been a Sleep Powder switch in, the Precipice Blades is something that you don't want to switch in your Stakataka to. And it's going to do a lot of damage to Smurgle. And it's actually going to put Groudon to over half. That's what that Life Orb power does for you. Because Aleksandra's Groudon is just a lot weaker than Yuri's Groudon actually is.
Yeah, we are going to see the Groudon. It is a 3-hit KO in it. And Alexandra's Groudon is a 2-hit KO, and with the Groudon on Yuri's side being faster, that's just so much better.
Yeah, and I think with Smeargle put to sleep now, one thing you probably want to do if you're Yuri, I think you want to keep your Groudon in the back, potentially, maybe for a Incineroar in the back or a Stakataka. And this is a good time to maybe bring in your Katana and go for a Grass Knot onto Groudon. Smeargle definitely has one guaranteed turn of sleep here. So you're pretty free to switch it up here. I don't think you really want to go for an attack with Groudon because the Life Orb is probably going to take yourself out. And I think Groudon might be something that you need in the later game. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Yuri pull out a switch. If you're Aleksandra, you're kind of struggling at the moment because you're losing momentum. With this Smeargle that is just asleep, not doing anything.
Yeah, I think you kind of have to try and call the switch on this Groudon and maybe just try to see, okay, can I catch anything that he decides to switch in, and is he going to switch in that Cortana? So if he... Now, Groudon is just going for a Protect, probably just not wanting to be put to sleep here.
Yeah, but I think Venusaur is pretty safe to just go for a Grass Knot onto that slot. It's in the sun, so it is outspeeding, and it did go for the Grass Knot here. That's pretty safe. And this turn, Yuri is, even though the special defense keeps raising, the Smeargle has already been dropped to its Sash, so the combination of a Grass Knot into the Smeargle and a Leaf Blade into the Groudon should just pick up a double KO for Yuri here. Again, this Cortana coming in the right moment, offering so much offensive pressure, and I think Aleksandra only really has Incineroar now in the back to potentially switch into that.
Yeah, but even then, next turn can just go for something like a Sacred Sword, and she did decide to bring the Stakataka again this game, and we do actually see her going for a double switch here. So
no Incineroar.
No Incineroar. No, you're right. She decided that maybe just the Smeargle was more important here.
That's really curious, because how is she going to beat this Cortana now? And wow, that Grass Knot does over half to the turn.
Wow, and with another Leaf Blade, it was actually living with 6 HP, but
surprising.
Wow, just no Incineroar, and I'm really wondering, like, Cortana was such a big problem for her in Game 1. Does she maybe have anything that we don't know about?
I'm not sure, and I think if you're Yuri, what you probably want to do now is, I think the only way that Aleksandra has to get back into this game is if she sets up the Trick Room now. So I think your best option is probably to Grass Knot the Sacred Sword to Stakataka, because you really can't afford this Stakataka to go for Trick Room, and she doesn't protect, and I think this is going to be the double up.
Yeah, we do see the Grass Knot going into the Stakataka and a Sacred Sword. Yeah, definitely enough to pick up the KO here. And yeah, this Cortana, again, being so incredibly important for Yuri, and it's getting another Beast Boost here.
Yeah, again, and did the Xerneas go for Geomancy? Not even. So that's not even a way for her to get back into this game. Just went for a straight-up Moonblast. Yes, you picked up the KO onto Venusaur, but is that really what you need at this point? I think you needed to set up there. I think she still has one chance potentially to set up, because she is able to bring in a Smeargle, which already took, I think, did it take one turn of sleep? I think it took one turn, right?
I think it did. So if she could potentially wake up with something like a Fake Out in this turn, that might be her only option. But
I think it is.
How is she going to beat this Cortana?
Yeah, exactly. Even if you wake up, this Cortana is still going to threaten you a lot. And this Xerneas actually is at 6 HP, so you can't even take a Fake Out from this Incineroar. And also, most Incineroar even evade to live a Moonblast at +2, so her outs are getting very, very slim at the moment. Yuri is still having at least 3 healthy Pokemon in the back. I'm going to assume that he has... yes, the Incineroar actually. So still the Groudon in the back as well. Yeah, that's going to be really tough for Aleksandra.
Yeah, we are going to see the Xerneas go for Protect, and maybe the Smeargle is going to wake up. No turn one wake up, and we do see Incineroar going for a Fake Out into the Xerneas, and Cortana just going for a Leaf Blade, taking the KO on the Smeargle here, taking another Beast Boost there. Yeah,
so Cortana's just running rampage here. It's crazy how well this little Paper Sword is doing. And I think at this point, Yuri is really safe. Just go for a Leaf Blade into the Groudon, go for a Flare Blitz into Xerneas. I don't think a critical Moonblast is able to pick up either one of the 2 Pokemon on Yuri's side.
And then it also has a Groudon in the bag.
It also has a Groudon in the back either, and yeah, you don't have time to set up Geomancy as well, because you're at 6 HP, you're threatened by both of the Pokemon on the field, and yeah, it looks like Yuri is going to go into finals for his Frankfurt regional, going to face against, so we're going to get an Italian finals, it looks like.
Yeah, and Yuri being so dominant again, this regional, we've seen him being dominant in so many regionals before, but there's probably a reason why he was the #1 CP leader by far last season.
Yeah, he's pretty decent at this game. I think he can play Pokemon.
Yeah, we do see the Xerneas going for a Moonblast into this Kartana, but it's definitely not enough to pick up any KO here. Probably not even with a critical hit. And we are going to see the Incineroar go for a Flare Blitz. And at this point, yeah, it's just really over.
Yeah, unless this somehow was a magical speed tie between Kartana and Groudon all along, but I'm pretty sure that's not the case. And even then, Yuri still has a Groudon in the back. So, yeah, really well played by Yuri here. Aleksandra, kind of curious that she didn't bring the Incineroar into game 2. Don't really agree with that too much at all. I did like her lead. Makes a lot of sense against Yuri's Heatran combination, but Yuri just adjusted to that.
Yeah, this is what I was saying before. Like, Yuri can just adapt so well during the game.
Yeah.
He's someone, even if his game plan doesn't go as he maybe wanted, he's so fast to pick up, like, oh, I need to do this, this, and this to win this game. And I think he knew exactly what to do in this game to beat Aleksandra.
Yeah, and he just executed his game plan really well. He even had a double press blades miss at some point. Didn't matter in the end. He still got the win pretty convincingly. But I want to also say congratulations to Aleksandra. She put up a good fight.
She definitely put up a really good fight.
I think the matchup was also definitely in Yuri's favor. And if you're playing against such a world caliber player, then it's always going to be difficult.
Yeah,
and
if you have a bad matchup against a player like Yuri, it's going to be really, really tough.
Yeah, exactly. So, congratulations to her. Top 4 is a great achievement, especially in one of these big regions that we have here right now. You still got to take a lot of prize money back home as well, so that's really nice. So yeah, after this we're gonna take a few minutes and then we'll be back with the finals match, which is gonna be Matteo against Yuri. No, I think we're only gonna do interview in the final now. Okay. Oh no, Yuri, you want to do the interview, right? No, you don't want to do the interview. Okay, we're not gonna do the interview because I don't think we've been. No, we haven't. No, we haven't been doing interviews so far in top 4. We're gonna do one winner interview in the end though, because we kind of want to keep the pace going of this regional. We don't want to slow everything down. So this is going to be the last game for me. After this, you're going to see Lou and Romy on stream for the final match. And yeah, so that's going to be the Italian showdown.
I'm so excited. I want to see Italy versus Italy, them fighting it out. Yuri versus Matteo. I'm so excited.
Yeah, so let's hear it in chat. Who do you think is going to win? And don't go anywhere. We will definitely be back in a few minutes with this great match. So don't go anywhere.